Welcome to Exploring Capitalism, where we're going to dive deep into the heart of one of the world's most influential economic systems. Today, we embark on a journey to understand the intricacies of capitalism, its core principles, the challenges it poses, and the ongoing reforms that shape its evolution. Howdy, I'm just some random nude dude sitting in my closet talking to myself. It's also where I celebrate the power of free thinking and encourage bold ideas. As a society, we're often afraid to challenge the norms and think outside the box. But here, I embrace the unconventional. So sit back, relax, and join me on this journey of exploration, where we embrace our inner nude dude and push boundaries to discover new perspectives. Today, we'll unravel the essential elements of capitalism, from the fundamental tenets of private ownership, free markets, and the profit motive, to the way it shapes competition, growth, and governance in societies around the globe. We'll explore the historical context that led to the rise of capitalism and how it's evolved over time, influenced by technological advancements and shifts in societal values. But our exploration doesn't stop there. We'll delve into the dynamic relationship between capitalism and government intervention, investigating the roles of regulations and their impact on fairness, competition, and economic stability. We'll also examine the consequences of market concentration, the emergence of corporate dominance, and the ethical considerations that underpin business practices within capitalist systems. As we navigate this multifaceted landscape, we'll take a closer look at the influence of public perception on capitalism. How do people perceive this economic system? What factors shape their attitudes and expectations? We'll explore how public sentiment can drive policy decisions and impact economic behaviors. Reforms are a pivotal theme throughout our journey. We'll examine the reforms that address income inequality, environmental sustainability, labor rights, consumer protection, and more. These reforms reflect the recognition that capitalism must adapt to changing circumstances and align with evolving societal values to remain relevant and just. Ultimately, this exploration of capitalism is a journey of discovery, reflection, and dialogue. It invites us to critically examine economic systems that play a central role in our lives and to consider how we can shape them to better reflect our collective values and aspirations. Whether you're well-versed in economic theory or just curious about how capitalism operates, join me as we embark on this exploration of capitalism, a system that has left an indelible mark on the world and continues to shape our future. Economic systems form the backbone of societies, shaping how resources are allocated, production occurs, and wealth is distributed. To navigate the complexities of modern economies and assess their impact on individuals and communities, a fundamental understanding of these systems is crucial. This discussion embarks on a journey to explore economic systems with a particular focus on capitalism and their far-reaching significance. Economic systems, at their core, define the rules and structures governing economic activities within a society. They encompass the fundamental principles, norms, and institutions that guide how goods and services are produced, exchanged, and consumed. Understanding these systems involves unraveling the intricate web of relationships among individuals, businesses, and governments in the pursuit of economic well-being. One of the prevailing economic systems in the modern world is capitalism. Capitalism is characterized by several core principles that set it apart from other systems. Private ownership, where individuals or entities possess control over property and resources, is a foundational aspect of capitalism. In this system, free markets play a pivotal role, allowing voluntary exchanges to determine prices and allocating resources efficiently. Moreover, capitalism is underpinned by the profit motive, motivating individuals and enterprises to seek financial gain. Capitalism, as a system emphasizing economic freedom, grants considerable autonomy to entrepreneurs and businesses. It encourages innovation, risk-taking, and entrepreneurship, fostering an environment where ideas can flourish and businesses can thrive. This economic freedom allows individuals to engage in market activities with minimal government interference, promoting competition and choice. Economic systems are not abstract concepts. They have tangible effects on people's lives, from the products available on store shelves to the prices consumers pay, from job opportunities to the income one earns. Economic systems shape numerous aspects of daily existence. Even broader societal factors, such as income distribution and the availability of public services, are intricately tied to the economic systems in place. As we delve deeper into the intricacies of capitalism and its interplay with free markets, we'll uncover how these systems drive competition, spur growth, and influence governance. Additionally, we'll address the concerns regarding corporate dominance and the necessity of government intervention to ensure fairness and the common good. By the end of this exploration, it's our aim to provide a holistic understanding of economic systems, their impacts, and the role in shaping the world we live in. Before diving into the intricacies of modern economic systems like capitalism, it's essential to take a step back in time and examine the historical precursors that laid the foundation for contemporary economic thought and practices. In the early stages of human civilization, barter economies prevailed. These systems were characterized by direct exchanges of goods and services without a standardized medium of exchange like money. Barter economies were prevalent in agrarian and subsistence-based societies, where goods were traded based on immediate needs. Subsistence agriculture was the dominant economic system for centuries. Communities primarily engaged in farming to meet their own basic needs. Surpluses, if any, were typically minimal and used for trade within local communities. Feudalism emerged in medieval Europe as a hierarchical system of land ownership and obligations. Landlords, often nobility, held vast estates and granted land to vassals in exchange for loyalty and services. Peasants worked the land in return for protection and access to resources. Mercantilism, prominent in the 16th to 18th centuries, marked a transition from agrarian societies to more centralized economic systems. It involved state intervention to accumulate wealth through trade, colonization, and the acquisition of precious metals. Mercantilism set the stage for discussions on economic policy and government's role in regulating commerce. During the Enlightenment era, influential thinkers like Adam Smith and John Locke laid the intellectual foundations for modern capitalism. Smith's The Wealth of Nations, in 1776, introduced key concepts such as the invisible hand and the role of self-interest in promoting economic growth. These ideas contributed to the development of free market capitalism. By examining these historical economic systems, we gain insights into the evolution of economic thought and practices. These early systems provided a backdrop against which modern economic systems like capitalism can be assessed and compared. They offer lessons about the challenges and benefits of various economic arrangements and the role of government in economic affairs. Understanding the historical context in which capitalism emerged helps us appreciate the complexities of modern economic systems. As we explore the principles and characteristics of capitalism and its relationship with free markets, this historical perspective will serve as a valuable backdrop for evaluating how economic thought has evolved over time and the challenges and opportunities inherent in contemporary economic systems. Capitalism, as an economic system, is defined by a set of principles and characteristics that distinguish it from other economic models. Understanding these foundational elements is essential to comprehend how capitalism operates within societies and economies. At the heart of capitalism lies the concept of private ownership. In this system, individuals and private entities have the right to own property, assets, and the means of production. Private ownership empowers individuals to control and manage resources, fostering a sense of personal responsibility and initiative. One of the defining features of capitalism is the existence of free markets. Free markets are environments where goods and services are exchanged based on the principles of supply and demand, with limited government interference. Prices are determined by market forces, allowing for flexibility and responsiveness to changing conditions. The pursuit of profit is a fundamental driver of economic activity within a capitalist society. Individuals and businesses engage in market transactions with the aim of generating financial gains. This profit motive fuels innovation, competition, and investment, propelling economic growth. Capitalism places significant emphasis on individual agency and economic freedom. Within this framework, individuals have the autonomy to make economic decisions, engage in entrepreneurship, and pursue opportunities. This individual agency is a driving force behind the dynamism and adaptability of capitalist economies. It's important to note that capitalism can manifest differently across regions and economies. Variations in the degree of government intervention, regulatory frameworks, and social safety nets can lead to diverse forms of capitalism, from laissez-faire capitalism with minimal government involvement to mixed economies that combine market forces with social policies. The principles and characteristics of capitalism have far-reaching impacts on societies and individuals. While capitalism fosters innovation, economic growth, and wealth creation, it also raises questions about income inequality, market failures, and the role of government in mitigating negative externalities. As we delve deeper into capitalism, we'll explore these impacts and consider the challenges and opportunities associated with this economic system. To comprehend the essence of capitalism, it's essential to delve into the close relationship it shares with the concept of free markets. This section explores how capitalism thrives within the framework of free markets, underscoring the interdependence of these two fundamental aspects of modern economic systems. At the core of capitalism lies the notion of free markets. Free markets are environments where economic transactions occur with minimal government intervention. Prices, production, and distribution are determined by the forces of supply and demand, reflecting the collective choices of consumers and producers. This laissez-faire approach to markets is a defining feature of capitalism. Competition is a driving force within free markets. Businesses and entrepreneurs engage in competition to attract customers, leading to innovations, efficiency improvements, and product diversification. The concept of competition aligns with capitalism's emphasis on individual initiative and the pursuit of profit. Free markets are celebrated for their efficiency in allocating resources. Prices in a free market serve as signals, conveying information about scarcity and demand. When supply and demand interact freely, resources are allocated to their most valued uses, maximizing overall economic welfare. While capitalism encourages minimal government intervention in markets, governments still play essential roles in regulating free markets. They enact and enforce rules to ensure fair competition, protect consumers from fraud and unsafe products, and address externalities such as pollution. Despite the advantages of free markets, they are not immune to imperfections and market failures. Government intervention becomes necessary in cases where markets fail to provide public goods, address income inequalities, or manage natural monopolies effectively. The balance between free market dynamics and government regulation is a central consideration in the design of economic systems. The dynamic interplay between capitalism and free markets is a key feature of modern economic systems. Capitalism's emphasis on individual initiative and the profit motive finds an ideal environment in free markets. Yet, the need for effective regulation and government oversight ensures that these markets operate fairly and contribute to the well-being of society as a whole. Understanding the relationship between capitalism and free markets sets the stage for evaluating the benefits and challenges of this economic system. As we delve deeper into the principles and characteristics of capitalism and the impacts they have on competition, growth, and governance, this foundational understanding will provide insights into how these elements shape contemporary economic systems. Competition and growth are central components of capitalism, shaping the behavior of businesses, individuals, and the overall economic landscape. In this section, we'll delve into the dynamics of competition and growth within the framework of capitalism, highlighting their significance and consequences. Competition is the lifeblood of capitalism. In a competitive environment, businesses strive to outperform one another by offering better products, services, or prices. This drive for excellence fuels innovation, spurs technological advancements, and enhances the quality of goods and services available to consumers. Capitalism encourages entrepreneurship and market entry. Individuals with innovative ideas and the desire to meet unmet needs can establish new businesses and compete in the marketplace. This entrepreneurial spirit contributes to economic dynamism and the continuous expansion of industries. Competition promotes efficiency and resource allocation. Businesses seek to minimize costs and maximize productivity to remain competitive. As a result, resources are challenged towards their most productive uses, contributing to economic growth and higher living standards. While competition is a cornerstone of capitalism, it's not without challenges. One potential issue is the emergence of monopolies or oligopolies, where a few firms dominate a market. These situations can stifle competition, limit choices for consumers, and potentially lead to anti-competitive behavior. To prevent monopolies and ensure fair competition, governments enact antitrust laws and regulatory measures. These interventions aim to maintain competitive markets and protect consumers from excessive market power. Capitalism's pursuit of profit fosters economic growth. Businesses seek to expand their operations and increase their profits, leading to job creation, higher incomes, and overall economic prosperity. This growth contributes to a rising standard of living for many in society. While capitalism's growth potential is substantial, it can also lead to disparities in income and wealth. Economic growth doesn't always benefit everyone equally, and concerns about income inequality arise when the benefits of growth are concentrated in the hands of a few. Balancing competition and growth is a delicate task. Governments and regulatory bodies play a pivotal role in ensuring that competition remains robust while fostering an environment conducive to sustainable economic growth. Striking this balance is essential to harnessing the positive forces of capitalism while mitigating its potential downsides. Understanding the intricate relationship between competition and growth within capitalism provides valuable insight into the workings of modern economies. As we continue to explore the principles and characteristics of capitalism and their implications, this section underscores how competition and growth are not only drivers of economic progress, but also subjects of ongoing debate and policy consideration. The observation of corporate growth and its influence over government institutions raises critical questions about the dynamics of capitalism and the role of government. In this section, we'll delve into the intricate relationship between corporate dominance and government intervention, exploring the implications and the necessity of maintaining a balanced economic system. One of the notable features of capitalism is the potential for businesses to grow and accumulate significant market power. This growth can lead to large corporations dominating entire industries, which, in turn, can affect market competition, consumer choice, and the distribution of wealth. As corporations expand and become major economic players, they often engage in lobbying and campaign contributions to influence government policies and regulations. This influence can shape legislation and regulatory decisions in ways that favor corporate interests, potentially leading to imbalances in economic power. Government plays a crucial role in preserving competition and protecting the interests of consumers and society at large. Regulatory agencies and antitrust laws are established to prevent monopolistic behavior, unfair business practices, and the concentration of market power. Regulatory capture can occur when government agencies responsible for oversight become too closely aligned with the industries they are supposed to regulate. This alignment can undermine effective regulation, potentially leading to lax enforcement and an environment in which corporations operate with minimal accountability. Government intervention is not antithetical to capitalism. It's a means of maintaining fairness and preventing abuses of market power. Through regulation and oversight, governments can aim to create a level playing field where competition can thrive, consumers are protected, and businesses operate ethically. Striking a balance between corporate growth and government intervention is an ongoing challenge. It requires careful consideration of the potential consequences of unchecked corporate power, including income inequality and reduced competition, while also recognizing the importance of fostering innovation and economic growth. The relationship between corporate influence and government policies can impact public trust in both business and government institutions. Ensuring transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct is vital for maintaining public confidence in an economic system. To address concerns related to corporate dominance, regulatory capture, and the overall balance of power, policymakers and citizens often engage in discussions about regulatory reforms, campaign finance reform, and increased transparency in government and corporate practices. These conversations are essential for shaping a more equitable economic landscape. The interplay between corporate dominance and government intervention is a multifaceted aspect of capitalism. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for evaluating the fairness and effectiveness of economic systems. As we continue to explore the principles and characteristics of capitalism and their implications, this section highlights the ongoing dialogue about how to ensure that economic systems serve the best interests of society as a whole. Government intervention in economic systems is integral to maintaining fairness, competition, and consumer protection. This section delves into the essential regulatory role that government plays in shaping and safeguarding economic systems. One of the primary roles of government in capitalist economies is to ensure fair competition. Through regulations and enforcement, governments prevent anti-competitive practices, such as price fixing or monopolistic behavior, that could harm consumers and undermine competitive marketplaces. Government regulations include measures to prevent the formation of monopolies or the concentration of market power in the hands of a few dominant players. These efforts aim to maintain diversity in the marketplace, protect consumer choice, and encourage innovation. Governments establish regulations to safeguard consumers from unsafe products, deceptive advertising, and fraud. Agencies like the Food and Drug Administration and the Consumer Product Safety Commission set standards and conduct inspections to ensure products meet safety and quality requirements. Government intervention extends to environmental protection. Regulations address pollution control, resource management, and sustainability practices, seeking to balance economic growth with environmental stewardship. In the financial sector, governments implement regulations to maintain stability and protect consumers. Banking regulations, security laws, and oversight agencies like the Securities and Exchange Commission aim to prevent financial crises and ensure the integrity of financial markets. Labor laws and regulations set standards for wages, working conditions, and labor rights. These regulations seek to protect workers from exploitation and create a framework for fair employment practices. In many countries, governments play a role in healthcare and social services, ensuring access to essential services like healthcare, education, and social safety nets. These interventions aim to promote social well-being and reduce disparities. The level of government intervention varies across different economic systems and societies. While intervention is essential to prevent market failures and protect the common good, the extent of government involvement remains a topic of debate. Striking the right balance between regulation and free market dynamics is a continuous challenge. Government regulation evolves over time to address emerging challenges. Technological advancements, shift in market dynamics, and changes in societal values prompt governments to adapt regulations to meet new demands. The extent and nature of government regulation are typically subject to democratic processes. Elected representatives, policymakers, and regulatory agencies engage in decision-making and policy formulation to reflect the will of the people. Government regulation is a pillar of modern economic systems, providing a framework for fair competition, consumer protection, and social well-being. Understanding the regulatory role of government is vital for assessing the effectiveness and fairness of economic systems. As we continue to explore capitalism's principles, characteristics, and impacts, this section underscores the intricate relationship between government intervention and the functioning of economies. Antitrust laws and competition policies serve as critical tools for preserving competitive markets, preventing monopolies, and protecting consumer interests. This section explores the significance and functions of antitrust laws and competition policies within capitalist economies. Antitrust laws, also known as competition laws, are designed to promote competition and curb anti-competitive behavior in the marketplace. These laws aim to prevent monopolies, price fixing, bid rigging, and other practices that hinder fair competition. One of the central objectives of antitrust law is to prevent the emergence of monopolies or the undue concentration of market power. By fostering competition, these laws aim to ensure that consumers have choices and that businesses compete based on merit. Antitrust laws target collusion among businesses that form cartels or engage in price-fixing agreements. Such practices can lead to artificially inflated prices, reduced consumer choice, and harm to the competitive process. Regulatory bodies often review mergers and acquisitions to assess their potential impact on competition. They scrutinize whether a merger would create a dominant player that could harm competition or stifle innovation. Government agencies, such as the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice's Antitrust Division, enforce antitrust laws. These agencies investigate anti-competitive practices, pursue legal action against violators, and review proposed mergers and acquisitions. Antitrust laws often have global implications. International cooperation and agreements aim to harmonize antitrust enforcement and prevent anti-competitive practices that transcend national borders. Competition policies extend beyond the legal framework of antitrust laws. They encompass a broader set of policies and practices aimed at fostering competition, innovation, and consumer welfare. Competition policies may include regulatory reform and deregulation efforts to reduce barriers to entry, encourage entrepreneurship, and enhance market efficiency. Competition policies often include measures to protect consumers' rights, ensure transparency in business practices, and promote fair and ethical conduct in the marketplace. A key challenge in competition policy is striking a balance between regulation to ensure competition and innovation. Policymakers must consider how regulations impact market dynamics and technological advancements. Antitrust laws and competition policies are cornerstones of capitalist economies, ensuring that markets remain competitive, dynamic, and beneficial to consumers. Understanding their role is essential for evaluating the health and fairness of economic systems. As we continue to explore capitalism's principles, characteristics, and effects, this section emphasizes the importance of these regulatory tools in maintaining the integrity of competitive markets. Ethical considerations play a vital role within capitalist systems, shaping business practices, corporate behavior, and societal perceptions. This section delves into the ethical dimensions of capitalism, highlighting the importance of corporate responsibility and ethical conduct. While capitalism emphasizes economic freedom, it also invites discussions about ethics. Businesses and individuals operating within a capitalist framework are presented with choices that extend beyond profit maximization. Ethical considerations encompass issues such as fair treatment of employees, environmental responsibility, and social impact. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, is a prominent aspect of ethical capitalism. Many businesses embrace CSR as a commitment to operate in a manner that benefits society beyond financial gain. CSR initiatives can include charitable giving, sustainable practices, and efforts to address social issues. Ethical business practices encompass transparency, honesty, and integrity in all dealings. Ethical businesses strive to maintain ethical supply chains, avoid deceptive marketing, and ensure that products and services meet quality and safety standards. One of the challenges within capitalism is balancing the pursuit of profit with ethical considerations. Businesses often face decisions that involve trade-offs between profitability and ethical values. This balance can be influenced by factors such as consumer preferences, public perception, and regulatory requirements. Consumers increasingly consider ethical factors when making purchasing decisions. They seek products and services from businesses that align with their ethical values, driving companies to adopt ethical practices as a competitive advantage. Ethical lapses and scandals have been a significant consequence for businesses and their reputations. Public accountability and scrutiny play a role in promoting ethical behavior and holding businesses accountable for their actions. Government regulations often address ethical concerns by setting standards for business conduct. These regulations can cover areas like labor rights, consumer protection, and environmental conservation. Leaders within businesses and organizations play a critical role in setting the tone for ethical conduct. Ethical leadership fosters a culture of integrity and ethical decision-making throughout an organization. The promotion of ethical considerations within capitalism represents an evolving aspect of economic systems. It reflects a growing recognition that businesses have a broader responsibility to society. Ethical capitalism envisions a world where economic success is achieved in harmony with ethical values, contributing to the well-being of individuals and communities. Balancing profit motive with ethical principles is an ongoing challenge within capitalism. Businesses, consumers, and policymakers grapple with how to ensure that economic systems operate ethically and align with societal values. Considering ethical dimensions within capitalism provides a more comprehensive view of how economic systems impact society. As we continue to explore capitalism's principles, characteristics, and societal impacts, this section emphasizes the evolving role of ethics in shaping practices and behaviors in businesses and individuals operating within capitalist frameworks. Market concentration, characterized by the dominance of a few large corporations within specific industries, raises important questions about competition, consumer choice, and the dynamics of capitalism. This section explores the implications and consequences of market concentration within capitalist economies. Market concentration refers to the degree to which a small number of firms control a significant share of a particular market or industry. High market concentration can result from mergers, acquisitions, or organic growth. Market concentration can have a profound impact on competition. When a few firms dominate an industry, competition may be stifled, leading to reduced choices for consumers and potentially higher prices. Large corporations often benefit from economies of scale, which can lead to cost efficiencies and lower prices for consumers. However, this efficiency advantage can also contribute to market concentration as smaller competitors struggle to compete. Market concentration can influence innovation. While larger firms may have the resources to invest in research and development, they may also become less innovative as they focus on maintaining market share. Market concentration can affect the range and quality of products and services available to consumers. In some cases, dominant firms may limit variety and compromise quality to maximize profits. Small businesses may face challenges when competing against large, concentrated market players. This can limit entrepreneurship and reduce opportunities for new entrants. Governments often respond to high market concentration through antitrust laws and competition policies. Regulatory bodies review mergers and acquisitions to assess their impact on competition and may take action to prevent monopolistic behavior. Globalization can amplify market concentration as large corporations expand their operations across borders. This can create both opportunities for economic growth and challenges related to market power. Market concentration represents a complex balance between economic forces. While large corporations contribute to economic growth and efficiency, concerns about monopolistic behavior, reduced competition, and potential negative effects on consumers and small businesses necessitate vigilance. Market concentration remains a subject of ongoing debate and policy consideration. Policymakers and regulators aim to strike a balance that encourages efficiency and innovation while preventing the harmful effects of excessive concentration. Market concentration is a multifaceted issue within capitalism, touching on competition, consumer welfare, and economic dynamics. As we continue to explore capitalism's principles, characteristics, and societal impacts, this section emphasizes the need for careful consideration of the implications of market concentration and the role of government in regulating in ensuring fair and competitive markets. Public perception plays a significant role in shaping attitudes towards capitalism and influencing societal expectations. This section explores the dynamics of public perception within capitalist systems, highlighting its impact on economic behaviors and policies. Public perception encompasses how individuals, communities, and societies view capitalism as an economic system. These perceptions are shaped by various factors, including personal experiences, media, cultural narratives, and social discourse. Many people view capitalism positively, citing its role in fostering economic growth, innovation, and individual opportunity. Public perceptions often associate capitalism with personal freedom, entrepreneurship, and upward mobility. Conversely, negative perceptions of capitalism focus on issues like income inequality, corporate influence, and environmental degradation. Critics argue that capitalism can lead to exploitation, market failures, and the concentration of wealth. Public perceptions of capitalism vary across countries and regions. Cultural, historical, and political factors influence how capitalism is perceived and accepted. Media outlets and narratives have a significant impact on public perception. Media coverage can emphasize success stories of entrepreneurship and economic growth, or highlight cases of corporate misconduct and social inequalities, shaping public attitudes accordingly. Government policies and regulations can also influence public perception. Policies that address issues such as income inequality, workers' rights, and consumer protection can impact how capitalism is viewed by the public. The actions and behaviors of corporations influence public perception. Companies that prioritize ethical practices, social responsibility, and environmental sustainability may receive more favorable public perception. Social movements and activism can shape public perception by drawing attention to issues related to capitalism. Movements advocating for workers' rights, environmental conservation, and economic justice often challenge the status quo. Public perception of capitalism can influence policy decisions. Elected officials may respond to the public sentiment by enacting reforms, regulations, or tax policies that align with prevailing views. Educational initiatives and public discourse play a role in shaping public perception. Discussions about economic systems, ethics, and corporate behavior in educational settings can foster a more informed and nuanced understanding of capitalism. Public perception of capitalism is not static. It evolves over time in response to economic, social, and political changes. As societies grapple with the challenges and opportunities presented by capitalism, public perception will continue to influence economic behaviors, corporate practices, and policy decisions. A key aspect of public perception within capitalism is recognizing the diversity of opinions and experiences. Striking a balance between acknowledging the benefits of capitalism and addressing its challenges is essential to fostering informed public discourse and shaping economic systems that align with the societal values and aspirations. Reforms within capitalism are essential mechanisms for addressing emerging challenges, enhancing fairness, and optimizing economic systems. This section explores the significance of reforms, their objectives, and their roles in ensuring the resilience and adaptability of capitalist economies. Reforms within capitalism are driven by the recognition that economic systems must adapt to changing circumstances, technological advancements, and evolving societal values. These reforms aim to promote fairness, sustainability, and improved outcomes for individuals and communities. One of the central objectives of reform is to address income inequality. Policies and initiatives seek to narrow wealth gaps by implementing progressive tax systems, minimum wage adjustments, and social safety nets. Reforms within capitalism increasingly focus on environmental sustainability. Measures include regulations to reduce carbon emissions, promote renewable energy, and incentivize eco-friendly practices within businesses. Reforms often aim to enhance worker protections and labor rights. These initiatives include laws related to workplace safety, collective bargaining, and fair wages. Reforms address consumer rights and product safety. Regulations ensure that consumers have access to accurate information, safe products, and effective mechanisms for recourse in case of harm. In the wake of financial crises, reforms are enacted to stabilize financial systems and protect consumers. Regulatory bodies are established or strengthened to oversee banking, investment, and financial markets. Efforts to promote ethical business practices are a form of reform. Businesses are encouraged to adopt corporate social responsibility initiatives and ethical conduct standards to align their practices with societal values. The rapid evolution of technology prompts reforms related to data privacy, digital competition, and cybersecurity. These reforms seek to balance innovation with consumer protection. Reforms in educational and workforce development aim to equip individuals with the skills needed in a rapidly changing job market. Initiatives focus on lifelong learning, upskilling, and adapting to automation. Reforms related to political processes and campaign financing seek to reduce the influence of money in politics and ensure transparency in political campaigns. Government agencies, policymakers, civil society organizations, and concerned citizens all play a role in advocating for and implementing reforms. Public engagement and dialogue are crucial drivers of change. Reforms within capitalism involve a delicate balancing act, considering diverse interests and values. Policymakers must weigh the goals of economic growth, individual liberty, and societal well-being when crafting and implementing reforms. The capacity to adapt through reforms is a hallmark of resilient capitalist economies. As societies encounter new challenges and opportunities, ongoing reforms will remain integral to ensuring that economic systems continue to serve the needs and aspirations of individuals and communities. Reforms within capitalism reflect an ongoing dialogue and progress towards economic systems that align with evolving societal values and the pursuit of fairness, sustainability, and prosperity for all. As we conclude this exploration of capitalism, it becomes clear that capitalism is a multifaceted economic system that has shaped the modern world in profound ways. From its core principles of private ownership, free markets, and the profit motive, to its impact on competition, growth, and governance, capitalism has been a driving force of economic progress and innovation. However, the journey through the intricacies of capitalism also reveals its complexities and challenges. The relationship between capitalism and government intervention, the implications of market concentration, the role of ethics, and the dynamics of public perception all underscore the need for thoughtful consideration and adaptation within capitalist societies. Reforms play a crucial role in ensuring that capitalism remains responsive to evolving challenges and aspirations. These reforms address income inequality, environmental sustainability, labor rights, consumer protections, and more. They reflect the recognition that capitalism, while offering opportunities for growth and prosperity, must also be tempered by a commitment to fairness, societal responsibility, and ethical conduct. Public perception as a driving force for change reminds us that economic systems are not only defined by numbers, but also by the values and expectations of individuals and society as a whole. The dynamic interplay between public perception, policy decisions, and economic outcomes underscores the importance of ongoing dialogue and informed decision-making within capitalist frameworks. In navigating the path of capitalism, societies must continuously evaluate how economic systems align with their values and address their needs. The journey through capitalism is not static, but rather a dynamic process of adaptation, reform, and progress. It's a journey that seeks to harness the benefits of capitalism while addressing its challenges and ensuring that economic systems serve the well-being and aspirations of all members of society. As we look to the future, the exploration of capitalism remains an ongoing endeavor. It's a journey of discovery, dialogue, and transformation. A journey that invites us to reflect on the principles, characteristics, and impacts of capitalism, and to consider how we shape economic systems that best reflect our collective values and aspirations. In this ever-evolving journey, we find the potential to create economic systems that are not only prosperous, but also just, sustainable, and equitable for all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found this video informative and thought-provoking. This is the point at which others tell you, if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more content just like this. But we know that kind of thing is for losers. Don't be a loser. And as always, I welcome your feedback and ideas for future videos in the comments section below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing your inner nude, dude.